Hello, how are you guys today? I wanted to hop on and say hello. How are you? I feel like I've been recording for hours now, and I really have. If you are new to this channel, my name is KJ, and we're with KJ Around the World. What I've been recording this morning is some content for my career coaching business, and I'm exhausted. On top of that, dealing with a child who has, been under the weather. So I feel like I'm like running here and everywhere, but just wanted to hop on and say hello. I did say I was going to go live today at 10, and so I just wanted to follow through with that ultimately. If I have to run out, you know where I'm running. Um, so just to get things started off, the video today will be about 2024 travel plans, and I am going to be as transparent as possible to let you guys know what the deal is. I know there are a lot of people who get on YouTube and they're doing trips and going here and going everywhere. And, it seems as though they're rolling in dough. I'm not. I'm an educator. And if you know anything about educators, not that we're broke, we're not broke. We do have money, but we're not rolling in money, right? Like cash isn't like falling from the sky. So to be transparent, I just want to share, my travel plans, what we've been thinking about as a family, what we're, looking into, and the fact that A, YouTube doesn't pay for it, B, we work really hard for our money, and whenever we do travel, it's because we've either saved or worked really, really hard to have this money. So even when it comes to credit cards, like we're not putting stuff on credit cards. Like I'm still trying to figure out and navigate like how to do the points. And, even though like I think British Airways it was, like I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stick to it and, accumulate these miles. I'm sorry. I don't know how people do it. More power to the people that do. But whenever we travel, whether it's me solo or as a family, what have you, like we're fronting cash. Like we're paying for it ourselves. Like there's no credit card, there's like no nothing. Like we're paying. So I just wanted to start off by being transparent with that so that, we're not trying to gloss over the fact that trips do cost money and you do have to save or put money away to make sure that you're able to do these things. If people want to use credit cards and do the miles and the points game, more power to them. There are many people out there doing it. I know Tanisha, Fun and Budget with Tanisha. I know she does it and she does a great job at it. And that's why I follow her for a lot of reasons, but I try to follow her to figure out like how to navigate that. It's hard. I don't know how people do it, but Tanisha's been doing it for years and I'm inspired by what she does. And so if one day I do figure out the game, I'll get on. If not, it's going to be cash. Cash, 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 right? So just to share with you off the start from the beginning how we're moving and shaking when it comes to traveling in 2024. I've already booked my February trip, which I'm really excited about. Once that time comes, you will see. It's going to be an amazing location. It's for um, an opportunity that came up in order for me to go to a conference or a travel summit. And I'm really excited about it because I went to one that they did in 2023 in New York, and to get to go to another one outside of the US, I'm just excited about it. Like I'm here for conferences. Like I love conferences. I love when New York Times used to do the New York Times, travel show in New York, or even what was it that I went to some like a summer ago, the Food and Wine Festival, right? Like I love going to things like that. Like if it's a summit, it's a travel show, like food, wine festival, like I'm there. Like I'm the first one there. Like I'm at the door and ready to go because I think it's a great way to be introduced to a lot of vendors, be introduced to a lot of companies, small businesses. Um, It's also a great way to like introduce yourself to like other people in your sphere. So if you're an educator and you're going to like a travel conference, that's awesome. Not a travel conference, a teacher conference, that's awesome. If you're a traveler, travel blogger, or someone in the traveling space going to a travel conference or a summit, that's great, right? If you're a podcaster and you're going to like a podcast summit, that's great. You have to go to the places that kind of fuel and inspire you and inform you to like do the things that you love to do. And so I'm always here for it. And because, I'm in like several different pots, like this year already, I've gone to travel summit. This year already, I've gone to an education conference. And I think I went to like a mini podcast conference as well, virtually. So you have to do the things that feel right for you and work for you. And so that's what I've been doing and kicking off my travels for 2024. It's starting with this travel summit that I'm super excited about and I can't wait to share with you. It's going to be a place that I've never been before. It's going to be outside of the US. And so I'm super excited about that. That one's already booked and paid for, from the conference down to the hotel, down to the flights. And like I said, because there's no credit cards or anything roaming around here, I had to cash it, right? So that one's booked and ready to go. And then we have another trip coming up that I'm super excited about. Like, honestly, like all of the travel that I wanted to do back when I thought about January 2023 and like what I wanted to do in 2024, I'm like, I'm not doing any of it. Like, none of it. I was like, oh, I want to go to New Orleans. I want to go to Miami. I want to go here. I want to go there. None of that is happening in 2024. It's not happening. There's no Miami in 2024. There's no New Orleans in 2024. And I'm not sad about it because I'm doing other things that I'm really excited about, but those places are still on my list, which means 2025, right? So 2024, we've got this mystery trip that I'm not saying anything about until it gets closer, or matter of fact, until I'm there. How about that? You'll get like one of those YouTube shorts with me saying, "Hey, I'm here." Okay, so that will be exciting. Then we are planning, in the process of planning. Some parts have been booked, some are still yet to be booked because, as I said in the description, like I'm trying to figure out, right, the planning process when it comes to booking flights. And so, something I wanted to share today a little bit further was when people book flights, right? The best time to book flights, looking at prices, navigating prices. So, with me, when it comes to booking flights, I usually try to book at least 3 months out. And doing it 3 months out has worked for me in the past. But with this trip, like I'm looking at the prices and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a trip to Europe. And so I've been thinking about maybe flying into like a major city and then maybe taking a train to the destination, or booking tickets one way and then going the other way. I know many people who do that, right? Like they'll book one way and then go that way, or they'll book like a leg of the trip and then book the other leg. Um, it's hard, guys. It's hard, but just something to remind you about booking trips ahead. Be mindful. The best time to book is at least 5 to 6 months out. And this is for international trip. If you're booking domestic, meaning you're in the US and you're booking domestic, it could be a little bit different. You can book maybe 3 months to a month out. But when it comes to international travel, you want to book at least 5 to 6 months out, 3 months the latest. And I've done 3 months the latest. I've done it with Finland. I've done it with I feel like I did it when we went to Italy as well. Like we booked in March and we were supposed to leave in June. So, like, these are things that I've done before, right? Where I've booked 3 months. But as you are thinking about your travel for summer, especially if you're booking to go to Europe, just be mindful of your timeline, your strategies, be mindful of where you're flying into, where you're flying out of. There's certain major cities that it's like, you're gonna pay, and like they don't care. They're like, I mean, one way. not one way, but like round trip flights for like one person for like $1,700. Like make it make sense. So just be mindful of where prices are, how you're planning. Think about how far you want to plan ahead. I'm the type of person, I always book my hotel like before anything. Like hotels are usually booked like almost a year out for me because I want to make sure I land that good price, that good deal. And you're being mindful of like the hot periods, right? So if you're going to Europe, just be mindful that anything between July and August, prices are going to go up and like they don't care. They don't care. Prices are going up, right? Because they know many people are coming, people are traveling, and they're going to make their money that way. If you're an Airbnb person, just be mindful. There are a lot of cities in Europe that are not, you know, covered by Airbnb, or they have certain rules and laws around Airbnb. And so be mindful of where you are staying, whether there's fines associated with it, whether there's extra fees associated with it, so that when you book your experience to travel abroad, you're not paying, hundreds of dollars on top of your regular booking fee. Um, so just be mindful of that, please. Something else to think about when you're thinking about your travel for summer, think about the location as far as like the neighborhood. Like check areas that are going to be the most safe, check areas that are walkable, check areas where there are, things are easily accessible, supermarkets, restaurants, etc. Because think about, if you've already paid thousands for your flight, hundreds for your hotel or your Airbnb, paying additional transportation, whether it's taxi, Uber, whatever it may be, those expenses are gonna, they're gonna continue to go up. And as someone who, like I said, I'm not traveling with credit cards, I'm not using points or anything like that. So as someone who travels and uses cash, shout out to my husband for usually, fronting most of the cost. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. And so be mindful that as you are traveling, things add up, right? Fees add up, prices add up. And so if you're not planning ahead and you're not being mindful of how you're planning and how you're spending, you're going to come back from your trip very, very unhappy and disappointed that you spend more than you should have. So plan ahead, plan smart, right? I've been traveling and blogging about it since 2016. And I've always shared on my blog, the importance of planning ahead, making sure that you have certain things in order when you plan, and thinking about my 2024 travel and the two major trips that I have coming up. I just wanted to share with you what I was up to, and hopefully you can drop in the comments what you're planning for your 2024 trip. If travel isn't on your card for 2024, perhaps think about traveling local. It doesn't have to always be international, right? Like when I initially thought about travel in 2024, I was thinking about local places. Like I was like, I'm going to head to, like I said, Miami or New Orleans, like local places to me, which they aren't really local, but they're domestic places to me, which would make things a lot cheaper. But things didn't turn out that way, and so my travel plans have changed. But if you are planning to travel locally, I think it's important to think about maybe some road trips. I know not last summer, but this past summer, my kids and I went on a road trip to Canada. You don't have to do anything major, right? Like I think it cost me $40 to $60 in gas to go front, forth and back to from Canada to the US, right? So think about how you can travel locally on a budget, or maybe just cross the border to Canada or Mexico locally and still have a good time, still have great travel experiences, whether you're going solo or with family and friends, to enjoy your 2024 travels. It has been fun and awesome hanging out with you today. If you aren't following along with the channel, now is your time to subscribe. Click the notification so you know when I'm going to upload and go live. There are more things coming. I know I made my last video last week talking about trying Vlogmas and it was a bust. But this week I am trying to do a little bit better, and I've I'm posting today. I'm going to make an attempt to post again on Friday. I've got some information out in the community about my book. Right now for the holidays, there is a sale, so you can get the book at a discounted rate. Every week, I'm going to drop it down by another 10 or 20%. Um, so if you're interested in teaching and you want to be able to go abroad or work remote as an educator, pick up my book or gift it to a friend. Again, it's going to be at a discounted rate, so you can pick it up now. You can get the hard copy or ebook, whichever one works for you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.